Hello and welcome to another episode of Blue Alpine TV. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're a returning viewer, then please hit the like button. Today, we're actually talking about Sequoia Capital and Bitmain. We're talking about some news from Coinbase, and then we'll talk about why the EOS Mainnet is live, but not really launched. But let's see. First news story of the day we have here: Sequoia Capital in China set to invest in Bitmain's 400 million pre-IPO round. So Sequoia Capital China is said to have led a $400 million pre-IPO round in Beijing-based Bitcoin miner and mining chip designer Bitmain Technologies, valuing the firm at $12 billion, according to a Chinese local media report. So a couple of days ago, we've talked about Bitmain's kind of ambitions to go and have an IPO, and then it was valued at around $3 to $4 billion. And we are now coming into the phase where this is kind of starting slowly but surely to crystallize. Now, what I do remember is that one of the founders or co-founders of Bitmain, Jihan Wu, was actually saying that he intends to kind of make sure that Sequoia, who invested quite early into Bitmain, that they get their fair share of their investment back. Now, this is quite interesting that they are leading another $400 million round. Could be that Sequoia Capital China and Sequoia Capital are two completely different companies. I don't think so, though. So it's fairly interesting that Sequoia also believes in the vision that Bitmain is probably proposing their investors currently. So obviously, when you're preparing for an IPO, you can either do another round of raising because you're in very favorable shape because you're doing an IPO, and the investors will get multiples on their returns back, on their investment back. Or it could be that they are just using these rumors in order to raise money at favorable rates. So nonetheless, Bitmain is in a very, very strong position, and Sequoia Capital seems to be quite interested in that part of the Bitmain business. We'll keep you posted about Bitmain's IPO, and we'll see how this develops in the next few days. Now, next news comes from Coinbase. And as you know, we've talked about Coinbase a lot of times, especially when it came to rumors about adding different cryptocurrency to the exchange. As you know, Coinbase currently has I think four cryptocurrencies listed on there. We have Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, we have Bitcoin Cash, and we have Litecoin. Now, everyone was saying that as soon as a low price cryptocurrency would hit Coinbase, the price would go crazy. And essentially the reason why is because when people who are not very knowledgeable in the cryptocurrency space, what they would do essentially is to just invest into the cheapest coin, because everyone thinks that, for example, a Ripple priced at now around 50 cents would go to 1,000, 2,000, 20,000 US dollar price. And if you calculate the multiple, like it goes quite crazily. Now, in this case, that's why all these rumors started going that Ripple might be the next one that will be added to Coinbase. Now, it came out today, actually, that Coinbase will add Ethereum Classic. Now, Coinbase has previously said that they are going to support ERC20 tokens. So there is actually, it says here in the FAQs as well, so what kind of different currencies will you be adding next? And they're saying that they have announced kind of their wish and vision of supporting ERC20 tokens and other Bitcoin forks. Now, it looks currently like this will continue kind of as a trend. So we will definitely see other ERC20 tokens. Now, what does that mean for you as an Ethereum Classic holder? Now, essentially, if you have Ethereum Classic, it will take a while until it is actually getting listed on Coinbase itself, because technically it goes through the following products first. It goes through Coinbase Custody, Coinbase Markets, Coinbase Pro, Coinbase Prime, Coinbase Asset Management, and only then it technically gets onto Coinbase itself. So it says actually here, Coinbase Pro and Prime will be the first two platforms where it will have to be launched in order to get onto Coinbase as well. So essentially you have to see and kind of follow the developments of Coinbase Pro and Coinbase Prime, and only then, once there has been probably certain amount of interest, certain amount of volume, then they will probably list it on Coinbase as well. Now the price has shot up a couple of double-digit numbers, where everything else was in the red. Quite interesting, obviously. So if you're Ethereum Classic holder, then I would hold on to it, because it will be quite interesting to see kind of the Coinbase effect. Next up, we have another quite interesting coin. We have EOS. EOS has launched but not yet live. What exactly happened there? So EOS's mainnet launch was actually scheduled for June 10th, 1 p.m. And the thing is, a lot of people have anticipated this, and we've seen EOS gain a lot of percentage numbers in the last 2 to 3 months, because everyone was highly expecting, on one side the airdrops, and on the other side those crazy price increases for the mainnet launch. Now the question now is, where is the EOS mainnet? So can we actually trade on the mainnet, etc., etc.? Says here in the article, the answer to that question is effectively no. That's because the crypto tokens created by Block One's $4 billion EOS EICO are locked up until the network elects 21 block producers, which is the equivalent of miners for the new network. As that still hasn't happened, currently no one can start using EOS just yet. Now, 21 block producers, and it says here, as it stands, the blockchain will go live if 15% of all tokens, which is currently an equivalent of 150 million, are staked in a vote on block producer candidates. Staking tokens allows EOS holders to vote for up to 30 block producers, and these are the groups in charge for verifying transactions, and votes are weighted by how many tokens are staked. Now, you might ask yourself, well, where are we exactly in this 150 million? And actually, by the end of June 10th and June 11th, which was the last 2 days, we were around, I think, 30 million. Those 30 million. So there is actually quite a lot of EOS tokens still to go. And the reason why people are not ready to stake all of these tokens is everyone is a bit hesitant and kind of wants to see where this is going, or whether this is kind of a risk. So that's why this whole stuff is still taking quite a while. So without the 150 million EOS tokens, there will not be a proper EOS mainnet launch. So if you're holding EOS and believe in it, then you should start staking it. And if you're not believing in it, maybe then the whole EOS thing wasn't really for you. So it says here, EOS tokens are mostly frozen until the mainnet launch, because most tokens are sitting in EOS wallets, but EOS tokens on exchanges continue to be able to be bought and sold. So it doesn't really affect EOS tokens on the exchanges, but if you have an EOS wallet and kind of are keeping your EOS in the wallet, you can essentially not do anything about that. So you can either wait or stake, or if you have some whale friends, essentially people who have a lot of EOS tokens, you should maybe try to convince those people to slowly but surely start staking those tokens. Now, EOS, in my opinion, quite an interesting cryptocurrency, but until now, or at least I kind of want to see how this whole mainnet thing is evolving. Right now, it just seems to be like a lot of different problems, and people not really properly trusting the network, which is always not a good sign. But let's see and let's wait, and we'll see how the whole story develops. And with that, guys, we're already at the end of today's episode. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, and also join our free Telegram channel. And yeah, I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.